Welcome everyone to the 20th lecture in the lecture series on circuit and systems. I am Nikhil Kumar Nigam from EEE Department, Delhi Technical Campus. In this lecture, we will start with having a recap of the last lecture and then we will move on to today's objective. In the last lecture or in the last two lectures, we were discussing about the circuit analysis using Laplace transform, and we will continue our discussion in this lecture also. In the last lecture, we were discussing about the application of Laplace transform in the circuit analysis, and we discussed a resistive circuit where we discussed that a resistive circuit in time domain, say we have applied a voltage of Vt across it, it will cause a current It across it, and say the resistance is R. And if we convert this into the Laplace domain, then its equivalent circuit will again be consist of a voltage source, where the voltage source in the time domain was Vt, and in the S domain it will be V of S, which will be connected across a resistance R, and it will be causing a current of I of S to flow into it. That is, a voltage source Vt is converted into V of S, a current It is converted into I of S in the S domain, but the resistance R is kept as it is. There will be no change. So this was the case with the resistive circuit. Let us now discuss the inductive circuit. Let us consider a pure inductor. Having inductance L is connected across a DC voltage or a voltage source, let me say a DC voltage V magnitude is connected across the L with a switch. The switch is getting closed at t equal to 0. Now after the switch is getting closed, the circuit will get completed, and there will be a current this should be small, It flowing into the circuit. Now the equation relating all these can be written as V times Ut equal to L dit by dt. But this equation is for t greater than equal to 0. For t greater than equal to 0, ut has a value of 1. So I can rewrite this equation as, or I can remove this ut and I can write v only here, v equal to L dit by dt. Now this is the equation here. Now let us take the Laplace transform both sides. If I want to convert it into the Laplace domain, Laplace transform both sides, we get V of S, because it was a time variable, so that is why I am using V of S, this equal to L of now we have the derivative of a function. If say we have It as a function and its Laplace is I of S, then the Laplace of its derivative will be S times I of S minus I of 0 negative. So I can rewrite this V of S equal to L S I S minus L times I of 0 negative. Now where this 0 negative is the current flowing through the inductor before the closing of this switch. Now there may be two conditions. The inductor may be charged or uncharged. If I consider the inductor to be uncharged, it means there must not be any current into the inductor before t equal to 0. So this factor will become 0. If this factor becomes 0, let me write it. For uncharged inductor, I of 0 negative will be 0. This implies this equation can be written as V of s equal to Ls I of s. Now see here, we have the voltage, we have the current, and we have a factor which is relating these. So if I look at the Ohm's law, then this factor must be like impedance. That is, I can write this as V of s equal to Z of s into I of s. I am writing it Z of s because it has a s function here, or s term here. That is why it is Z of s. So in case of an inductor, the equivalent circuit can be drawn using this equation. Now this equation says when we transform this inductive circuit into the S domain, the inductance is transformed into its equivalent impedance. Remember here, this inductance is transformed into its equivalent impedance. Let me draw the equivalent circuit. We will have a voltage source which is V of s. Let me erase it. It may be imparting confusion. So this we have the voltage source which will be V of s. It will be applied across a ZS. We have an impedance, and impedance in general form is represented by a block where this is Z of s, and a current I of s would be flowing into it, Now remember here that this Zs is equal to Ls. So I can write this Zs to be equal to Ls also. So this is the equivalent circuit of an inductive circuit when transformed into the Laplace domain. This is in Laplace domain. So mark my words again that an inductor, while transforming into the S domain, will be converted into its impedance, which is equal to Ls. The impedance of the inductor will be Ls. Now this was the case when we considered the inductor to be uncharged. Now if inductor was initially charged, then this I of 0 negative would not be 0. Now if it is not 0, then this equation should be used to draw the equivalent circuit. Let me use the another slide to draw. I will use this part, this equation again, or let me copy it. So we had this inductor. Now we are considering this to be a charged inductor, that is I of 0 negative is not 0. If it is not 0, now we will use this equation to draw the equivalent circuit of the inductor into the S domain. Now in that case, if I see if it is a voltage term, then in order to satisfy the dimensions, the voltage must be equal to the voltage on the other side. That means both these terms should be voltage. If it is voltage, then this is voltage, then it is the voltage drop. Voltage drop across the impedance. Voltage drop across impedance Ls. If it is the voltage drop, then see this should also be a voltage, but it does not have anything which is impedance. So it means it must be a voltage source. It must be a voltage source. So let us draw the equivalent circuit using this equation. See here, the applied voltage is equal to the voltage drop occurring into the circuit minus the voltage source. So we will connect this voltage source in order that its polarity justifies this minus sign. Let us try to draw the equivalent circuit. So we have a voltage source. So we have a voltage source Vs. Now this must be connected across the series combination of two elements. These should be connected in series because voltage drop occurs only in the series combination. So these two elements should be connected in series. So if it is to be a first element, then it must be a impedance. It must be a impedance whose value is equal to Ls, and the other must be a voltage source. So let me say that this is a voltage source whose value is equal to Li of 0 negative. Now we need to mention the polarity of this. See here, it is getting the minus sign. So if it is getting the minus sign, it means this, it should be negative here and positive here. Let me explain it briefly. Say we have this voltage which is causing a current of Is to flow into it. When a current Is flows from this, then there will be a voltage drop plus minus like this. Now if I apply the KVL in this, then this voltage should be equal to this plus this. But I need minus sign here, and this minus sign can only appear if we have minus sign here. That is why the polarity of this voltage is shown like this. So it means a charge inductor can be represented by a impedance whose value is Ls, and connected in series a voltage source whose value is Li of 0 negative. Remember this, it is a voltage source now which is having a value in terms of current. So it must be a current dependent voltage source. It is a current dependent voltage source. Now I can rewrite this equation. Let me erase all this. I can further rewrite this equation as this I of S will be equal to, I will bring this side, I will get V of S plus L of I of 0 negative. Then this term I will divide these two terms with Ls. So it will be 1 divided by Ls, and it will be divided by Ls. Now this L and L will get cancelled out. So let me cancel this out. I am erasing it out. So it will be like this, I of 0 negative divided by S. Now I have another equation. This is another equation. Now I can use this equation also to draw the equivalent circuit. But see here, this equation is in terms of current. If it is current, then these two terms must also be current in order to satisfy the dimensions. So if it is a current, then this should also be a current. And current only adds up in parallel circuit. This equation gives a series circuit equivalent because the two elements are connected in series. Now this equation will give a parallel equivalent of this charge inductor. Now it means that this inductor can be thought of a parallel combination of a impedance whose value is 1 by Ls. It should not be impedance, it should be the inverse of the impedance, 1 by Ls, plus a current source with I of 0 negative divided by S. So the equivalent circuit again will be, it will be voltage source again, and I will now connect these two elements in parallel. So let me connect impedance over here. This is the impedance element, and this should be a, as you can see, it is a current, then this should be current and this should also be current. So there should be a current source whose value will be given by I of 0 negative divided by S. This is a current source, this is impedance, and its impedance, its value is Ls. Now this is a voltage source, let me use another color. This is a voltage source which is having the function Vs. It will be causing a current Is into the circuit. Now this Is will get divided into these two to make a part of Vs divided by Ls and I of 0 negative divided by S. As this current and this current has to satisfy KCL, so this current must have a polarity as shown, so that the current coming from here can divide into this and this, and if I write the KCL equation over here at this node, then it will be like this. So this is the KCL equation. So we have devised the two equivalent circuits of a charge inductor. A charge inductor can either be thought of a series combination of a impedance and a voltage source whose value is Li of 0 negative, or I can thought it as a parallel combination of impedance Ls and a current source whose value is I of 0 negative by S. So you need to remember it is your choice that either you can replace this charge inductor with this or with this in your circuits to simplify. Okay? If we are facing any kind of confusion, it will become clearer when we solve some numerical problems based on it. Let us now discuss the case of capacitance. We will have a capacitor which will be connected across a voltage. Say we have this capacitor whose capacitance is C and it is connected across a voltage source plus minus like this. We have this voltage source Vt and this switch is getting closed at t equal to 0. Now after the switch is closed, the circuit will get completed up and a current will start flowing. Say the current is It. So the relation between these voltage, current and capacitance can be It is equal to C times of dVt by dt. This is the equation relating all the three parameters in time domain. Let us now take the Laplace transform of this equation, both sides. After the Laplace transform, let me write this. I will write this It as I of S. The C will be C here because it is not dependent on time, so it will be a constant and it is scaling this, so I will keep it like this. And see here we have the derivative of Vt. So the derivative of Vt, the Laplace of derivative of Vt will be S times of V of S. I have considered the Vs as the Laplace transform of Vt, then the Laplace transform of dVt by dt will be S times of V of S. But we have to subtract the initial conditions also, so I will put a minus here, where minus V of Vc of 0 negative here. Now I can further simplify this equation as I of S equal to C times of S V of S minus Vc of 0 negative, sorry, I had to remove this, so this will be CSVS minus C times Vc of 0 negative. Now let us see this equation. Now this equation says that the current is equal to this part. So if it is a current, then on the other side this must also be a current. So this portion is a current, this portion is also a current. So this is a KCL equation. So it means in the case of a capacitor, I can draw its equivalent circuit using this equation, and this equation says that a capacitor can have a parallel equivalent circuit because it is a current, and current only adds up in the parallel circuit. So this capacitor can be drawn equivalent as a parallel combination of impedance whose value is 1 by Cs. See, the relation is, I need to write it here, that I of S is equal to Cs V of S here. It means this, if I compare it to I of S into equal to V of S divided by Z of S, this is the Ohm's law. So if I compare this, I will get Zs to be equal to 1 by Cs. So its equivalent must have impedance whose value is 1 by Cs. So it means a capacitor is converted into its impedance and having the value 1 by Cs. Now there will be another part connected in parallel to it, and in parallel to it, if it is connected, this all is constant. If it all is constant, it is not depending upon S. So I would say that this would be a current source. So I will draw a current source in parallel to it. Now see, there, because of this minus sign, this current must oppose this current. If this current is coming from this side, then this current must oppose it in this direction. So in order to justify this minus sign, I am mentioning this current in the opposite side, and its value will be C time of Vc of 0 negative. And we have a voltage source here, plus minus like this, whose value is Vs, which is causing a current of I of S. Now see here, if I try to apply KCL at this point, then it will justify this equation, that Is is equal to the current entering into it, and this will be equal to Cs times Vs, because Vs is the voltage appearing across this impedance, and this current is coming this side, so I am putting a minus sign ahead of it. So this is the KCL equation. So it means this, whenever I want to convert the capacitive circuit into its equivalent in the Laplace domain, then I must replace this capacitor with the impedance whose value is 1 by Cs, and I should connect a current source in parallel to it, which is having a direction or the polarity which will be opposing the incoming current. Okay. Now I can rewrite this equation in terms of Vs. Let us do so. I need some space, so I am removing it out, erasing it out. So this will be, I will keep this Vs on the other side. Vs, if this factor goes to other side, it will add up with I of S. So it will be I of S plus C Vc of 0 negative. And I had this portion with this part with V of S. So I will divide this here, Cs, and with Cs here. Now this C and this C will cancel out, so I will remove them. So this is the equation. After modulating this equation, I get this equation. Now this equation says that voltage is equal to this portion. It means if it is a voltage, then these two should also be voltages. So if it is a voltage, then this must be a voltage and this must be a voltage. and I can see this voltage is because of this CS, so it must be a voltage drop, and there is nothing like this over here, so it will be a voltage source. So the voltages divide only in the series circuit, so I can use this equation to draw a series equivalent of this charged capacitor. So it will be, we will be having a voltage source plus minus V of S, which will be connecting capacitance. I can show the capacitance like this also. I don't need to show it by a box only. I can show the capacitance by capacitive symbol, and this capacitance must have impedance, and I should show it over here. That is 1 by CS is the impedance now here, and it is connected in series with this voltage source. So there must be a voltage source connected in series with it. Now to take care of this positive sign, I should put a polarity of plus minus here, and the magnitude of this voltage source should be VC of 0 negative divided by S. So I can use this capacitor and convert that into the Laplace domain, either into the parallel form or into the series form. This is all my choice. Remember these equivalent circuits before solving or before trying to solve the numericals. I should also say something, that in some books this polarity is wrongly mentioned. So please check it. The polarity of this voltage source and the direction will be like this. Especially in KM Sony it is wrongly mentioned. In KM Sony it is wrongly mentioned. So by far now we have discussed the inductive and capacitive and resistive circuits. We have discussed that a resistance remains a resistance, whereas an inductor and a capacitor, when converted into Laplace domain, they are converted into their equivalent impedances, where L is replaced with Ls, C is replaced with 1 by Cs, and R remains R. So these things we need to keep in mind before solving the numericals, and let us now try to solve a simple numerical. Let us try to find out the step response of a RL circuit. We have a DC voltage whose magnitude is V. We have a switch which is getting closed at t equal to 0. We have a resistance and we have a inductor. And let us find out the current flowing into the circuit using the Laplace transform. We have already solved this using the time domain analysis approach, and we have seen that it involved integral and differential equations and solution of it, and the solution was very difficult. So let us see how the Laplace is going to help us in this. So we have this circuit. We will first convert this circuit into its equivalent S domain. Let us draw its S domain circuit. So in the S domain we have already discussed that this R remains R, this L becomes the impedance, a voltage source becomes the voltage source. So we have V here, but this voltage source is connected with this switch, so the voltage would be now V into ut. So if the Laplace transform of ut is 1 by s, then Laplace transform of V into ut would be V by s. So I will replace this combination of switch and source with this V by S. So there we have a voltage source which is having the value V by S, and it is connected across the resistance, and we already know the resistance remains the resistance, so it will be resistance over here, and this inductor will be replaced with a impedance. So I will draw the inductor, but I will substitute its value to be LS. Write it clearly, LS. So it is R, it is LS. Now see this circuit has been transformed into it. Now this circuit does not have any switch here, so it will be very easy for us to solve. Also, if it is a resistance, then this should also be resistance or impedance. Then let us say the current flowing into the circuit is I of S, and let me write down the KVL equation. So writing the KVL equation for the loop, we get applied voltage is equal to the voltage drop into the circuit. So the voltage drop across it will be R times I of S plus the impedance into the resistance. So it will be LS times I of S. See here. Now in this equation we have IS as the variable, and we need to solve this to find out the value of IS. Let us solve it. So this will be V of S equal to, if I take IS common, I will get R plus LS, and further I can write this as IS. This will be equal to V divided by S into R plus LS. Okay, now we have this expression IS. We are required to find out IS. We have already calculated IS, but this IS is in S domain, and we cannot understand this until we convert it into the time domain. So to convert it into the time domain, let us first apply the partial fraction and then take the inverse Laplace of it. I am removing this out. So after partial fraction, I can write I of S to be equal to, say we have a residue A for the factor S, and we have the residue B for the factor R plus LS. R plus LS. Now using the residue theorem, I can calculate the value of A. A will now be equal to S into I of S. Now I am calculating the residue A, so I will use this S and I will multiply it with this IS, and I will substitute S equal to 0, because we do not have anything added up with it, so it will be S equal to 0. So after multiplying this, IS is this. So if I put S into V by S into R plus LS at the rate S equal to 0. So this S will cancel out this S, and I will be left with this only. So it will be V divided by R plus LS at the rate S equal to 0. This is nothing but A. Further, now after solving this, I will put S equal to 0 in this. So I will get V divided by R. So I have calculated the value of A, which is V by R. Similarly, I will calculate the value of B, which is, let me use another marker color. B will be equal to, I will multiply S plus R plus LS with IS, and where IS is V by S into R plus LS, and I will substitute S equal to minus R by L. Now this term will cancel out with this term, and I will be left with V by S, and after substituting s equal to minus r by L, I will get b to be equal to minus L into V divided by S. So now I have the value of A and B, and I can substitute this value in this to get the partial fraction. So I'm going on to the next slide. Remember the values: A equal to V by R and B equal to minus LV divided by S. This should not be S, it should be R. Pardon me. So let's move ahead and substitute the values of A and B. I will get I of S to be equal to A. So A was, let's go back once again. So A was V by R. So I will put V by R divided by S plus B. B was minus L into V divided by R divided by R plus LS. So this is the I of S, and now I need to take the inverse Laplace of this. So I can further write or simplify it as, I can write this as V divided by R into S minus and if I take L out common out of this, then I will get minus LV divided by R into L, and I am taking L common out of it. I will get S plus R by L. Now this L and this L will get cancelled out, and I can write I of S to be equal to V by R into 1 by S minus, if these two gets cancelled out, I will get V by R into 1 divided by S plus A, where A is equal to R by L. See here. Now this is constant, this is constant, this is constant, this is constant. So while taking the Laplace inverse, let us take the Laplace inverse. So Laplace inverse of this is I of t. This will be the Laplace inverse of I of s, and Laplace inverse of this would be V by R Laplace inverse of 1 by s minus V by R Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus A. You may get confused with this L. Let me change it and write it like this. So this L is for Laplace. Now we already know the Laplace of 1 by s, Laplace inverse of 1 by s. We know that ut has a Laplace of 1 by s, so the Laplace inverse of 1 by s will be ut. So it will be V by R into ut minus, this will be V by R into, and the 1 by s plus A. If you remember, the e raised to power minus at, this had a Laplace transform of 1 by s plus A. So the Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus A would be e raised to power minus at. So over here I will write e raised to power minus at, where A is R by L, so I can write R by L t directly like this. Now this is it. Now this solution is for t greater than 0. For t greater than 0, this ut is equal to 1, so I can replace it with 1. So the equation will be like this. That it is equal to V by R minus V by R e raised to power minus R by L t for t greater than 0. So this is the solution, and I can see I can further write it as V by R into 1 minus e raised to power R by LT. This is the expression for current, and we can easily plot it also. If it is an exponential part, then it will be exponentially increasing, and it will be increasing like this, where this will be the final value. So it will be reaching to the final value of V by R. So this is the response of RL circuit. This is the response or the current into the RL circuit. Now you can see that we have not used integration or differentiation, or we have never calculated the complementary function or particular integral or initial conditions. We have simply done the linear manipulations to get the answer. Hence Laplace is a tool which can simplify our calculations in the circuit analysis. So from now on we will be using Laplace analysis to solve the circuits. So I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening to the lecture. Keep learning, stay safe. For any of your queries, you can mail me your queries, you can WhatsApp me your queries, or we can discuss them in tutorials. Till then, take care, bye bye.